let's get right to it. Why a book, man?
Well, I
Why
think it's really another chapter in my life now. I just got through a divorce, and it was tough. It was really tough. Me and my ex-wife are best friends now. We were enemies before, but we're friends now. And I have a large history, of family abuse, as you can say. Physical, or not physical, but mental abuse. As a young kid, my parents being drug addicts, drugged me on the road with them for 6 or 7 years, from the age of 6 to about 12 years old. And it was really, really tough, living through the stuff that I lived through and getting into high school, finding wrestling. People find good Lord Jesus Christ to save them. I found high school wrestling, collegiate wrestling is what saved me and what built me kind of what I am today. Went on to get educated, got in school, went to Cal State Bakersfield, Golden West Junior College. And before that, actually, there was like 2 years where, I had a drug problem myself. I was just trying to get on with my life. People check it out through my book and everything. I've been through some very challenging things, and the biggest step was getting educated. I think going back to school and dropping my habit and getting educated into wrestling. Like I say, it was where my heart was. And
did Jenna have anything to do with it from her book coming out? Did she help you with this?
No, my mind was already made up. Me and Jenna met almost 2 years ago, but by that time my mind was already made up. I already excelled in the things I wanted to do. Like I said, I went to school, and then I started this fighting thing out, mixed martial arts, and became a world champion. So my life was already wrote, before I met Jenna, but now it's just kind of solidifying mentally some of the stuff business-wise that I'm doing, a lot of business work. But, the drug habit and everything that I went through, it was my own learning. I had to learn it for myself, I think. But it was just one of those things, man. I'm living an interesting life, and one of a kind, 100%. People could read my book and check it out. There was three choices I had in life: dead, in prison, or where I am right now. And I think I'm doing a pretty good
I think you chose the right path.
Yeah, right.
Good path.
No, I'm serious, man. And if you get a chance to read my book, there was a chance when I was in high school, actually I was a senior, and one of my buddies, a really, really good friend of mine, him and his friends were going to go do drop, they say, to go drop something off to somebody. And he's like, come with me, man. I'll pay you a couple $100. I was like, well, I have wrestling tomorrow. I have to get up early in the morning for a tournament, so I can't go. He's like, no, man, please come out. You'll make like $300-400. I was like, wow, $300-400 for a high school student. That's a lot of money. I was like, no, I have wrestling. I can't miss out on wrestling, so I'm not going. The weekend went by, and on Monday when school came, I go, man, where's Nacho at? And he wasn't around. I get a call from his sister. He got burnt with $1 million worth of speed, 5 assault rifles, 4 bulletproof vests. He was doing a drop for the Mexican Mafia. Oh. He served 15 years. He just got out just last year.
Have you talked to him? Yes,
I've emailed him back and forth on MySpace, of course, but it's just one of those things that I could have been there.
You could have been there.
Thank God for wrestling, man. I'm blessed, 100%. But there's a lot of situations that happen like that through my life. People could read it, of course. There's some really, really heart-shaking things that I've gone through. Like I say, I'm in prison, dead, or where I am right now. So, I keep making the right decisions. And, there's a big man upstairs looking over me. So
good inspiration for people, man. That's awesome.
I'm serious. People read the book. You'll see some very inspirational stuff. And like I said, I haven't came from a silver spoon in my mouth. And I didn't come from, everything that was given to me. I worked my butt off to get where I am right now. And, being an icon in the sport of mixed martial arts and how big it is now. I've been in it for 11 years. And I keep going. I keep working. There's a lot of kids who look up to me. And hopefully they could find a similar story in my story of knowing that they're worth something, that they can achieve in life. And that's the biggest thing. God put me on this earth, not to be a role model, I think to be an inspiration and, to help other people out around me. And it's respect value, I think. It really matters.
Now, if you could have one fight back, what fight would you want?
One fight back?
One fight back that you go, man, that you lost, that you would get back.
Can I have two?
Can you have two? Yeah. I know one of them.
I would say the most recent one was against Chuck Liddell when I stopped a little premature, I thought. I was defending myself. My hands are up. He was hitting me off the forearms, but I think, if I would have had one more round, I would have had a chance to beat him, of course. But I think the one I would love back no matter what, and it still eats me up alive, is when I fought Frank Shamrock, and I lost in the 4th round. He beat me fair and square. It was cool, but I was a young kid. I was only in the game for a year and a half, and that one eats me up more than anything because he holds it over my head. But that match, maybe having a rematch here by next year, there's a possibility that may happen. And so,
big changes in the UFC today, right?
I don't know. Is there?
Fertitta's going to be taking over.
Really?
Yeah.
So now they got someone intelligent running the company. I'd love to hear.
I know you and Dana White don't have the best history there.
Yeah, he just doesn't like me because I try to achieve in life. And you would think another human being would want to help someone succeed in life and not to hold them down and not let them achieve. And, that guy's making me do that. So,
yeah.
But, lucky for him that I'm a survivor and I'm going to achieve in everything I do. So
now, what do you hope people take away from the book, Tito?
I hope people take away an inspirational story that really comes down to a kid that came from the street and is living the American dream, to always believe in your dreams, never stop achieving, and don't ever be satisfied. Always work to thrive, to be a better person, to to give back to society. That's what I hope people get out of the book, because I've done that so much myself,
You have really just come so far to say, I'm in awe. I mean, I have all these questions I want to ask you, but man, you have really grown up since the last time you were in the studio.
Oh, I'm like I said, that's why I wrote the book. It's a different chapter of my life. I see the bright picture. I have a son who's 6 years old, and that's my life, man. It's like, my girlfriend Jenna, my ex-wife Kristen, they get along very well. They talk on the phone all the time, and that support there, it means the world to me. And me and my ex-wife, we talk all the time, and she goes, "I still love you." Yeah, I still love you too. I mean, we're
not
family.
in love with you yet.
Yeah, we're family. I mean, I'm going to be around Jacob for the rest of his life, and she's going to be around. So she just wants to make sure the best for my son. I got divorced. I gave Kristen everything. I didn't want nothing. I gave her all my savings. I gave her everything. And I started over again, kind of thing. And she started crying, going, "You don't have to give me everything." I go, "But I want to make sure you're taken care of, so I don't have to worry about it ever again." And it was a big chunk of money, but it's just one of those things that, in my heart, I think that I kind of not quit on her, but I think I wanted the best thing for Jacob, of not fighting all the time, and that's what really came down to. So she has nothing to worry about.
Not worth it.
Awesome.
It's not worth it.
No, not at all. I don't want to be in those relationships where it's like fight for custody battle and back and forth. And
because you know what, life is way too short.
That's what it was.
Totally.
We had the same conversation. She said the same thing. Life's way too short, and Jenna says the same thing too. And it's just like, but it's awesome to have support from two girls, who love me. My ex.